He's pretty good. What's cracking, Jason?
What's up, Jason, Michael?
Yo, what's up, fellas?
How you doing, brother?
Man, I'm doing all right, Carlos.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah,
Hey,
man.
what's
We
up,
I was just helping. Hey, what's going on?
So Tyler?
I was just helping somebody run some run privy. I didn't quite understand it myself, but as we were talking through it, man, I figured it out. It's funny how that works.
Yeah, we learn stuff when you're trying to help.
Yeah, I was trying to help him out, and I was like, "Oh, I didn't know you could do that." So, but yeah, he had a offer. He found an on market property. He put an offer in at 300, which is 30,000 under asking. The agent accepted it, and he was this is his first wholesale deal. He was kind of freaking out. He's like, I don't know what to do from here, because the agent is saying that they want $300. They want a $500 earnest money, which is not a problem, but they wanted $300 option. I was explaining to him the difference in Texas between the earnest money and the option. And so they wanted the option to be non-refundable regardless of what happened, and they want the earnest money to be non-refundable. But after we looked at the numbers and we ran them together, we came to the conclusion that really he needs to get it to the end buyer at 260, not 300, because everybody else in the area was only buying at 58%. So he needed to pick it up at 55%, 54 to 55% to make money.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Nice.
What did you learn?
Yeah. You said, what did I learn on Privy?
Yeah.
Well, you know what? I was following Pace's challenge, but it was in between me making calls last week, so I didn't really understand what was going on.
Mm-hmm.
But what I found out is a workflow that works for me. Sometimes when you're listening to other people, and no offense to Pace or anybody else, but they talk too much.
Mm-hmm.
I'm somebody where I just need you to get to the point, because when you start going over things over and over again, you lose me in the details.
Right.
So really what I learned today was I found my own way of searching for properties and comping them and doing them or whatever. And I still came out with the same numbers that they had. So
nice.
obviously, I was doing something right. I just think the way them explaining it in such depth was because so many people haven't done it before.
Right.
And maybe they just didn't really know what to do. But I was like, Jesus Christ, come on. But I respected what they were doing,
Yeah.
I like Privy.
Yeah, I'm liking it too. I'll tell you what, I'll just say this. I have no idea what this meeting is about. I just seen the link and I jumped on because the last three, I think it's like 2 or 3, I missed them. And I wasn't gonna miss it this time.
Yeah, we're just getting some people in. I'm gonna grab some water, and I'll be right back. But yeah,
Okay.
I'm just trying. Today's the first time I've put it at 3 p.m. because a lot more people have requested it to be at 3 p.m. But it doesn't look like it remembered. The last couple of times we had a good amount of people on them. But more or less, I'm gonna grab some water. We'll come back, give it another 5 minutes, and then we'll get into like either some Q&A first and then role play or something, whatever you guys want to do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why has nobody got their video on? Why am I the only one that hops on with their video on? There we
Man,
go.
Just turn yours off.
You know what I was thinking too? It's like it's funny because when I come on here, for some reason I feel like it's like time to take a bong rip once in a while, because my boy's always getting down like that, But also time to get some money too,
Yeah. It's funny, man, coming from a corporate setting. What I was laughing about when I seen you pull that bong out is what they started doing before I had left is, you have your laptop that they assign you and it had a camera and everything on it. And you could turn the camera off, like in the settings. But like if they thought you wasn't doing anything or working or whatever, man, the laptop would take a picture of you and would email it and carbon copy you on it. They'll email it to your boss.
What?
whatever you were doing. Yeah. You guys haven't been
Damn.
seeing that?
No, I better watch out for that because I do customer service for General Motors too. I'm smoking weed here all day.
Yeah,
Damn.
I thought you seen like okay, so I worked for State Farm in corporate and I did claims. And my supervisor showed me something on the system. And she showed it to me, while COVID was going on. And I was like, I had no idea you guys could do that.
Damn.
The computer was smart enough to where if I got done looking at a claim and I went to a website, like sometimes you'd have to Google an address or maybe you didn't really understand the part that the mechanic was talking about. So you had to Google it. Well, the computer was smart enough to know that Google search was related to what I was doing on that screen. And like, say if I did something different, like I didn't, even if I went to YouTube, it already knew that, yeah, he's doing some claims related stuff. But every time it did something that it didn't think was claim related, there's this little timeline.
IG.
Flag.
There's this little timeline, and it puts this red dot on this timeline. And then so they go back and click on the timeline, and it is a still picture that the laptop has taken of yourself and of your screen.
Oh, and the screen too. Yeah, so you can see what you're doing if you're working. Damn.
So
Yeah.
who's Dime X? Who's Dime X on here?
Dimex. What up, though?
I don't know who it is. So I got Anthony, Michael, and Dime X.
I don't know, Dimex. What's up?
Dimex.
Oh, it's you. It's
It's
Shane.
Shane.
What up?
Hey.
My bad. It changed on me.
Yeah, what's cracking?
I'm changing my name. My bad.
No worries.
He
I'm
on
like Dime X. What up, Anthony?
He on that alter ego type stuff
What
right
up,
now.
Anthony?
Accidente.
That must have been for his OnlyFans.
Nah,
Yeah.
it's artist name.
Hey, Anthony,
Artist
you
name.
muted, man.
Artist don't do like that.
You on mute, Anthony.
Yo, what up, fellas? My bad. I'm all off. Shit.
What up? I see Josh in the background. I see Casey over there enjoying themselves. So,
sir.
You guys want to do a little bit of Q&A first or something? You guys have any questions for me to answer, analyze, anything I can help you guys out with before we get into some role play?
Bro, I got one thing to say that
Hey,
we went to go look at some houses. We get some contracts signed.
yeah.
I went over to this lady's house, bro, and it still surprises me that people say this. She pulls up in her car and she gets out and she was just like, "Can I help you?" And I was like, "Yeah, we were here to get the contract signed so we can go ahead on and move forward with your deal." And she says, "Well, I didn't know you were black."
I didn't know you were black. Are you supposed to tell, hey, my name is Jason and I'm black? Or like, how are you supposed to
don't know.
introduce yourself?
I didn't really know. Things like that surprise me because you never really know what to say. It's like, so I was like, okay. That's the only thing I could say was like, okay. And then
That's all you did? You're all right.
she wouldn't let me come in the house and look at the house.
Oh, she
Oh, dang.
She did not?
No, she didn't. But there was somebody else with me. There was a girl with me, and
Was she
she's
not
mixed.
black?
She's mixed. She's black and white.
Does she look
And-
white over black or does she look black?
She actually looks Hawaiian, and her license plates say Hawaii because that's where she's lived most of her life.
Gotcha.
So the lady thought she was Hawaiian, so we just went with it. And she would let her come in, but she would not let me.
Damn.
No, I mean, you're taking it well. That's pretty fucked up.
Bro, if you ever been in claims where you go out and you look, I had people where I pulled up in front of their house, man, and they came out and sat on their porch with a shotgun and said, no, you're gonna have to call somebody else out here, buddy. You ain't coming to look at my house. So, you think about things like it's sad, but people do that. There's legitimately people like that in this world.
Fucking A, doggy. That's life for you. It ain't gonna ever change, really. There's motherfuckers out there like that all the time.
Yeah, but
let's open it.
she still got the contract, so
Yeah, that's what I was gonna
We're-
ask. You still get the contract?
she still got the contract. What we decided as a team was we decided that we just explained to the chick Vanessa. I said, hey, look, we're gonna fall back on this one, and you just let her know that we decided to back out because of what happened, and that you're gonna take this one down yourself. I mean, really, she's not, but you're gonna take this one down yourself. We just
Yeah,
your
this
partners
was like,
decided to back out.
I'm gonna step away because she hated me so much behind the scenes. I'm gonna step away.
Yeah, so you're just gonna step over here behind the curtain.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah. Anyway,
Wow.
man.
Well, anyways, guys,
Yeah.
we'll
Sorry
get
about
into
that.
this. So no, don't even worry, bro. It's good to hear some. You had some laughter after all that shit. You still pulled a laugh out of it. So we
Hell
cool.
yeah. I was laughing at it on the way home.
Yeah, this is like the 420 power play. I just see everybody just enjoying themselves on the cameras.
Hey, bro, don't make me have to go hit by safe. I'll be back.
You have to, bro. Anthony's doing it behind the scenes. I don't know about Michael, but
I don't got any more. I'm out of King Palms. I don't have any more.
oh man. Do you guys have any questions that I can help you out with in any scenario you might be stuck with on a wholesale opportunity, sub two opportunity? We'll open up for Q&A and just on anything basically, and then we'll get into some role play. Cool, no rush. We'll get into the role play where I'll go ahead and I'll be a buyer, and we could do a cash offer. We'll close cash. We'll do it where our ARV is 300,000. It's a 3-bed, 2-bathroom, 1,500 square foot property. Is anybody open to being a seller for me? Maybe running a scenario that they couldn't overcome.
What was the ARV?
300,000. Did you want to be the seller? Jason.
Yeah, bro. I don't mind. I'll tell you what. Can we use the scenario of the other house, the other appointment I went to? ARV on this one is 1.1.
1.1 is what you said. ARV.
Yeah.
Sure, that doesn't matter. Hey, what's the bed and bath count?
4 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms. It was an Airbnb, netting $7,800 a month, but it's a burnout now.
So they were netting $7,800 a month on a property that's 1.1 million.
Yeah, and the house is it's a burnout now. It's all burnt up.
And that's all they're making. I got a house that I got for 379,000. It's going to do double of that every month.
Well, he only owes 150,000 on the thing. The ARV is 101. I mean, it's 1.1, but he only owes 150,000. So his payment was like, hell, if I remember, I think it's like $1,200 or something like that.
Cool. He was making good money on it. Yeah, I don't mind doing this. We'll run this scenario. We'll get to it. I'll go cash. We can. How did that conversation end? Did you guys get close? Did you guys get to an agreement, or do you think it's better for a creative opportunity? Like, did you want me to close this cash on the phone, or is this an opportunity for creative because maybe you couldn't close it cash in reality, and maybe creative is the best case scenario?
You know what? It doesn't matter how you close it. He wants creative. Where it left off at is we're scheduling an appointment with his attorney.
Oh, whatever. All right, cool. We'll just roll into that, okay?
All right.
All right, cool. Ring, ring.
Hello.
Hey, what's up, Jason? It's Carlos. How's your day going, man?
It's going pretty good, Carlos. What's happening?
That's good to hear. Hey, thanks for your time, man. And not much, not much. I'm just reaching out. I don't know you, you don't know me. The reason why I'm giving you a phone call is I'm looking at this property. It's 123 ABC Street. And I just wanted to ask you, have you ever considered selling this property?
Yeah, I think I talked to your partner the other day. I think you guys are supposed to be coming up to take a look at it.
Got you. Okay. It might have been a different partner or not a different partner. It could have been a different person. I know that you most likely are getting a lot of calls coming in. This is the first time I'm talking to you. So can you catch me at the speed, I guess, on what you meant? I guess you've already spoke out to somebody, somebody's gonna go look at the property. Can you just catch me at the speed? What's going on with that, either investor or whoever's talking to you?
Yeah, so what's going on is I've been getting a lot of interest in the property. I know the property is worth quite a bit. I had the property on the market last year when I left the country. I went back to Israel to my main home. This is kind of like my second home here. And so while I was there, I let this guy who has an Airbnb company. He kind of did some arbitrage, whatever that may be. And so he's been renting it out on Airbnb and paying me. We've been splitting the Airbnb profits 50-50. So everybody's, it's a really hot area. It's close to downtown Dallas. Downtown Dallas is about a 10-minute drive. You can see the skyline from here. Everybody wants to be here.
Nice. That sounds like a cool little opportunity for that other gentleman to come in and do the Airbnb and run it 50-50. How's that been going?
It's been going good. The only thing that kind of went wrong was one of his tenants did something and caught the house on fire, and then they took off and they left the house burning without calling the ambulance or anything like that. They just took off. And then the guy that had the lease with me that was doing the Airbnb arbitrage, I can't get him on the phone to save my life, and he's refusing to talk to the insurance company. So right now they got me under investigation. And so what I have to do is I got to go and do a deposition next week, and they think I committed some sort of insurance fraud or trying to, because I had it on the market last year and it didn't sell, so we reduced the price, and here we are.
Got you, man. So it sounded like it was all going well for a little bit, and you guys were making some money, cash flowing, and then that accident happened, huh? Where somebody, I guess, just accidentally, some type of fire happened, and that's kind of weird that they didn't even call 911. That's not the coolest thing, right? So they let this house burn down, and then the guy who you have an agreement with, who was splitting all the money with you every single month, he now is a ghost. Does that sound about right?
Yeah, can't get a hold of him, his business partner, or his real estate attorney. They were all, when it was time to do the paperwork and split checks and all that, they were everywhere. They were like Visa, everywhere you wanted to be. Now you can't find them.
Wow, that's what a little pickle you got yourself into right there. So what's their goal here then? What's going on? What's your next step here? This house is on fire, it's sitting. What's your next step? Now I understand you want to sell it because it's not even livable. You're not there. It's not cash flowing. What's the goal here?
Well, honestly, the house is running me right now. I'm spending like $3,000 a month to keep the house going. I can't sell the house until they're done with the investigation. Insurance company won't give me an estimate. I don't even know how much damage is here other than what I've seen. And so that's pretty much where we are. But I just want to be done with it. I decided I'm going to go ahead on and move back to Israel. Carlos, what I need is I need $750,000. I need $750,000 because in Israel, I want to sell my house that I have there. I'm never really there anyway because I'm kind of back and forth, even though this is more like my second home. But I want to actually downsize now that me and my wife got a divorce a couple of years ago. I want to downsize. So I just want to get me like a condo or a loft in Israel, and the loft is $750,000, That's why I want 750 from you so that I can buy my lot and be done.
Got you. So what's your mortgage on this? What do you owe left?
150K.
150K, and that payment right there with your taxes, insurance, everything, principal, it's $3,000.
Yeah, $3,000.
So how long have you been making a payment on that since it's not been cash flowing?
So the house burned down probably about 45 days ago, and the insurance company still has me held up, and police are still investigating, and so is the fire department and engineers and everything else.
So basically, like almost 2 months or 2 months payments you've already made.
Yeah, I got another payment due. Trying to keep my credit good as well.
Okay. Got you.
You know,
So you're bleeding out a little bit of money every month is what it sounds like, right? Where are you living at now? If you had a house in Israel, is that where you are? Or, or you have another place you're staying at?
no, I got an Airbnb that I'm staying in. I'm paying that out of pocket right now.
Okay.
I'm a diamond jeweler, so I got a lot of connections. I know a lot of people who do Airbnb, and so I just negotiate different things with them here and there.
Got it. So are you paying cash out of your pocket or are you guys trading stuff?
Kind of both. I've been paying a guy, for the last about month and a half since I came back here, and then I got another guy that he's been trying to get a watch from me for a while. So I'm gonna do a Rolex for him, and he's gonna let me go ahead on and stay there for the rest of this year.
That's a cool trade, man. Definitely got to put you on my books, trade some watches for something else with you. So
Hey,
have you paid anything? Go
I
ahead
was
and
gonna
ask.
say sidebar. No, he is legitimately doing this. That's not me making that up. All right, go ahead.
That's funny. So have you even paid out any money out of your pocket to stay in the Airbnbs?
Just probably about the last 45 days.
What have you
I
spent?
probably, man, about $4,000. I mean, you see my neighborhood, you see how I live, man. I'm not
Yeah.
about to just go live anywhere. So
Seems like you spent like 10 grand within the 2 months. You're going to spend a third month here. So you'll be about 13 grand in debt. If I was able to help you out, stop bleeding and get you maybe, a number that you're looking to agree to, what type of time frame are you looking to move now that, you don't have a house, but are you able to sell this like in 14 to 30 days type of thing, or you need more time?
well, see, I thought I was ready to sell it within about 13 to 14 days, but the issue is my attorney is advising me not to make any sudden moves right now and to just sit, put my hands in my pocket and just sit on it. Because basically the police are involved, fire department's involved, insurance investigations is involved, mortgage company's investigation department is involved. Everybody's investigating me right now. And this will be my second deposition. The first one was with the fire department, and now this one is going to be with the police, the fire department, and my insurance company. So I want to get rid of it as quickly as possible. They're saying it's probably going to be over within the next 30, 45 days.
Okay. So worst case scenario, maybe another 2 months.
Yeah.
So maybe another 10 grand. You're gonna have to spend in pocket. So a total of 20 grand on top. Okay. So you're bleeding now. If I was able to help you out, would that help you? Like if I was able to get this off your hand, might not be able to pay 750 as an investor. I look for deals as well. I analyze with expectations of purchasing every property that I underwrite, but unfortunately, I don't and I can't buy everything I'm looking at. So I may or may not be your buyer. Just want to let you know. As I analyze this, I'm bringing it up and just making sure that I'm looking at the right property. It's 4-bedroom, 2-bathroom.
Yeah, but see, man, I can't afford to do less than 750, man. Come on, man. This house on average is selling for 1.1, man. I mean,
How big is the
yeah.
house square foot wise?
Man, the square footage on this one is 3,000 exactly.
Yeah. Well, here's my thing, right? I want to be able to help you out. I want to be able to get you the number you're looking for. But even at 1.1, or being that's the ARV of this thing, is that you coming in and having to spend all that money, the whole house is burned down, right? So I typically, how I factor in numbers on a burn down is it's typically 25 to 30% of the ARV price to me is how I take up the repairs. And then I got to go ahead and make my profit, right? But then when you have this property, once you renovate, it's luxury, right? You're gonna have to somehow pay somebody like a realtor some commissions out there, and on $1 million, it's expensive, right? And then you got to think, how long am I going to take to renovate this when I've been noticing the economy is shifting a little bit differently? It's downshifting. And on top of that, I've noticed that properties are still selling, but they're not selling as quickly anymore. I've noticed homes are staying on market a lot longer. I have to consider the fact that I'm most likely going to borrow money to get this. I'm going to have to pay hard money every single month on this. So what if it takes me 6 months? I have to pay, $10,000 a month on this because of the price is closer to $1 million over 6
Okay,
months.
well, I'll tell you what. So one of my guys that he's in the diamond business as well. Now we don't work together, but we do, we do help each other out from time to time. If one of us get behind on, repairs or whatever, he may come over to my shop or I go over to his. Well, he wants to buy the house because he wants to be closer to Dallas, because right now he lives 45 minutes out, and then his shop is another 10 minutes from there. So he's like an hour out every single day coming in. So if you can give me a better offer than what he's giving me, because he's saying 750, and I told him that I'd be willing to take payments, because he asked me about doing something. I think he called it creative finance, whatever, but he talked about doing that as well. But I told him, when he asked me to come up with the terms, I told him I need $150,000. That's non-negotiable. Somebody has got to eliminate this mortgage, because this $3,000 payment is a pain in my back. So somebody's got to eliminate that. And then after that,
so you would need at least a minimum. You would need, if you were to sell this on terms, which that was a way that I would have brought up, as if I don't buy it cash, it doesn't rule myself out as a complete buyer. I'll just rule myself out as a cash buyer. So if you were going to sell this on terms to somebody, what I'm understanding is somebody already offered to pay you $750 on terms, but your counter was, I don't mind doing that. I just need a minimum of 150 grand to clear out my mortgage.
Yeah.
Okay. Why didn't you just finance him the mortgage as well?
What do you mean?
Well, if somebody can take over your mortgage payment and the equity payment at the same time, maybe that wasn't a thought at the time, or?
Well, see, the thing is, if I'm trying to move back to Israel, I'm trying to leave here with no debts. That way, if I ever do decide to come back, because I'm about to start running my diamond business remotely. I've already got people in place that's taking over. I'm retiring out of the business. And Carlos, I'm 70 years old, man. I'm tired of fixing watches and putting diamonds and stones and rings. And I just don't want to have to worry about it. And I feel like if I leave the country and I'm waiting on somebody to make that payment, I'm going to be waiting.
No, I hear you. And so I won't be able to buy this cash. And I'm looking at it as if I were able to buy this on terms, right? I like the offer that you have right now with that other gentleman. What if I was able to do this though? What if I was able to partner with you on this property? What if I came in with my funds and my crews and I renovated this and we just listed it and we sold it for the 1.1, and then we pay each other on the back end once we sell it. We pay all the commissions out, we pay out your 750, so you have that up front, and then I just take whatever's left over.
I mean, I guess that ain't too bad. How long is that going to take?
Well, I mean, it's going to be a shorter time frame than your guy who's going to go ahead and make payments over time. I mean, instead of clearing that, somebody giving you 150, and what if you gave somebody 5 years, 3 years, 10 years to turn around and sell this? What if I was able to do this in between like a 6-month period? 6 to 12 month period, just to be conservative. But really all I got to do is come in, we got to get this ready, right? Renovate it, get it up to standards, and then list it and then sell it.
Yeah, I mean, the insurance guy said that even if I was to rebuild it, he couldn't see it being done no earlier than about 9 to 12 months.
Okay, so look conservatively a year. That's a shorter time frame than if you would have told somebody to pay it off in 2+ years.
Well, see, what I was asking him to do was to pay me the rest in 6 months. And he said he'd have to look into it to see if he could do that. He said maybe we could swap supplies or something like that. But
Okay,
know,
well, then it
I
comes down
really,
to what you'd rather do, right?
yeah, but see, the issue is, I can't really do much with diamonds. It'd be nice to have that, but I really can't do much with diamonds or gold bricks or whatever. And that's kind of what he's trying to say. Hey, look, I'll give you some of these things I have over here, but yeah.
So if you'd rather go with my route or his route, which one would you pick?
Whoever's gonna get me paid the fastest.
Well, I mean, even if he's paying you in gold bars, you're getting paid with it. To me, it sounds like you don't want to go that route.
Well, it's just I don't know what I'm gonna lose on the exchange when I go back overseas, and then I don't want to have any problems. Excuse me, when I go back overseas and try to go through the process of liquidating that. But I'll do it if I got to. Yeah.
So would it make more sense for you to do it the way that I'm offering, or what do you think?
I mean, your way sounds cool, man. I think we might be able to work that out.
Okay, I mean, I'd like to help you out, right? If I could have gave you the 750 cash, I would have. It seems like the other gentleman too, he saw a better deal. He'd rather have traded something than give you cash. So for a way for me to actually come in and actually help you and give you the number you're looking for instead of beating you up on that price, what if we just did it that way and we went out 9 to 12 months, make sure that we get this renovated and get it listed, get it sold. And then that's how you get your full amount at that one time. We both get paid at the same time at the back end of this. You still own the property under your name and control of it.
Well, what can you give me up front? Because right now the issue is, and who's going to pay the mortgage payment while this is going on, right? But right now the issue right now is that, I'm out of pocket 13,000 as of the first, so today, and I'm gonna be out of pocket another 3,000 here in about another 3-4 weeks. So I'm at least. I mean, what are you gonna give me down? Can you at least give me 20, 25?
I mean, I'd rather just come in and partner with you and do it this way, and then I'll split the cost with you every single month on it if that's what's gonna help you out.
Now we gotta do something to where I at least get 25 down, man. And then if we can do that, we can do everything else on your terms.
Okay, so if I gave you $25,000 down, would you take over the payments? You would just take care of the payments until we get this ready?
See, that's the hard part because I'm not making any money out of it.
Got you. What if we did like $15,000 down? We took that off of the purchase price and then we split the payment that you owe on this property.
That might work. That actually might work.
So what if we did it $750 purchase price? We gave you $15,000 down. We're left with $735,000, and then you and I split $3,000 a month, so $1,500 a piece. We'll go ahead and take care of together over the next 9 to 12 months while we get it renovated and sold. Is that something that we can draft up and make work for us?
Yeah, we can draft it up. I'll have my attorney take a look at it, my attorney and my accountant, and then we'll go from there.
Okay, that's what we'll do. And then I'll just grab your email real quick, Jason. What is it?
I don't have an email at gmail.com.
I don't have an email at gmail.com. Perfect. I'll go ahead and send this over and I'll follow up with a text. Sounds
What's
good?
up? Yeah, that's good.
All right. You have a good one.
All right, man. You too.
Bye. You guys have any questions?
Oh, what's up, man? This is Dan speaking. How's it going?
What's up? How you doing, brother?
Good, man. Hey, so was that? I'm sorry, I jumped in like the middle. that was a great cold call role play. Is that essentially a novation agreement?
That was a novation agreement, yes.
Okay, cool. I like how have you done a situation like that before? Because I hesitated at like on a down payment, like I'll get stuck on that situation. Like, damn, I can't come up with that 15 grand. So I like how you transition to that. Like, hey, what about we just take out the 750? Have you did something like that?
So I just worked a lot of creative deals over the last like 4 weeks. So I've got into lots of conversations, and I've been into 3 novation, I guess, agreements pretty deeply, but never at the end actually came to agreements. I'm on one right now that's pre-foreclosure pretty heavily, and we're helping them out, and they're really on board doing all the things that we're asking them to do. So I think I might get this one in the bag in the next 30 days. But yeah, novation agreement is basically, you can pitch it lots of ways. It's just basically coming in, teaming up with the seller with your own funds, your own crews. You guys obviously make an agreement to the number that you guys they're looking to give. I guess that you're looking to agree with the seller. Then you come in and you renovate it, you flip it with the realtor. You guys pay yourself in the back end. And a lot of people like that when the number is maybe a little too high on the full purchase price. And the reason why is your cash on cash is a lot better when you do it on novation, because you're only really paying for the renovation and the fees instead of the purchase price, renovation and fees. You get me?
I gotcha. All right, cool.
But yeah, negotiating, the reason I did that was like in a scenario where we can sell it for 1.1 and it was 750. I don't know. I really don't know how the numbers will look. Like in a real scenario, I would do my numbers and see what we can make it work. But novation would be the best one, because it would probably cost a lot of money, some luxury finishes to get it up to that 1.1. Yep. And so in the scenarios, let's say 750 does actually work and he wanted $20,000 or $25,000 down, I'm sure I can still do that. I'm just going to negotiate it with, well, then let me take it off the purchase price. You get me? Or let me take that on the back end. On the back end, instead of giving you 750, I'm going to cop the remaining 25 I gave you. So I'll give it to you now up front, but take it back on the back end, right? There's ways you can negotiate it.
Yeah, that makes sense. Definitely makes sense.
So that's why I came up with him, instead of saying yes to 25 and instead of saying yes to 3,000 a month. I'm not like a complete order taker, right? So I just stand a little bit firm. Let's be a little bit more fair and let's negotiate half the down, and I'll take half that payment.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Thank you.
No
I
problem.
didn't think about novation agreement when I was I didn't even think about a novation agreement.
Novation agreement is your last resort. So like creative financing is always your last resort, no matter what. Everybody would rather sell it cash to an end buyer who's buying it cash, or if not, they would rather list it to a homeowner who would get financed and then give them a check that would then cash them out. So they get cashed out both those ways. Or most likely they would rather keep it themselves to live in it or to rent it out. And if they don't want to do that, creative is a good opportunity for you to bring up. And then during creative, novation is the last agreement. It's like the last resort, I meant to say. And that's the way it really is. And so most people don't jump into novation agreements for the fact that they're like last resort when it comes down to you're brainstorming with the seller and you find out, oh shit, okay, so he needs this much, it's too much for me to pay cash. But in a scenario where let's say it cost me 150 grand to get it ready and I make another 150 grand, I made 100% cash on cash. But in a scenario, I pay 750, then I pay 150. Now I'm at 900,000 to bring back 1.1 minus commissions. Now I'm more like at 10, 20% on the cash on cash. You get me? So I'd rather still make the same spread, 150, but I would rather spend less money instead of tying up all my money. I'd rather go with the higher cash on cash.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Any other questions?
Nope. I think when I ran my numbers, I came in at we agreed to 720 720 cash, but that's because we had a buyer that was chomping at the bit to get it because he wanted it for 750. But
Gotcha.
yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, because it's gonna need a lot of. It's a huge home. It's burned, so. And
Yeah.
then you want luxury finishes. You're talking 150, 200 grand.
Yeah, we just for me looking at it without sitting down and writing an estimate, I came in thinking it's probably gonna be about 285,000.
Good, even better. Yeah, it sounds a lot. It sounds a lot closer to that. I think it's really like, I forgot, 30 or 40 cents on the dollar is like. I've talked to a couple of people who love doing the fire damage properties, and I think they've told me the way they try to purchase properties is like 30, 40 cents on the dollar, or maybe reverse. Maybe they need 30, 40 off the top and then minus other stuff. So haven't really ran into just a whole load of fire damage. I just know that it costs a shitload when the whole house is fire damaged. Yeah.
Yeah, you know me, when I do my fire damages, I get them at 15%.
Oh yeah,
If it's a
yeah, that's
total-
right. Of course you, yeah.
Yeah, if it's a total loss, I get it at 15% and I assign it at 18.
Yeah. Just like land, basically, huh?
Yeah, just like land. I instead of assigning it at 20% like I would land, I do 18 because that will take into to consideration demo.
Demo. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool. So basically you see it as demo since they're gonna demo. I mean, you see it as land anyways, because they're gonna demo it stuff.
Mhm.
Ah,
Yeah,
shit.
so I throw that in there.
Cool. Does anybody want to jump up and be an end buyer? Where are we at though?
Damn, I guess I'll take a tackle at it.
Yeah,
I'll
boy.
fail forward today then.
Fail forward every single day. Fail forward. Cool, man.
Lock him up, Dan. Lock him up.
Yeah,
So-
cause I'm not too familiar with like sub twos. I'm still learning seller finance, maybe a cash offer. I don't know how you wanna.
No, yeah,
Have a
just
conversation.
do what you know, right? You can't. How are you going to get into something creative financing if you don't really understand it that much,
Yeah.
right? So we'll just do it all cash. It's totally fine. Let's just keep it
Okay,
at
cool.
$300,000 ARV. And let's keep
Yeah.
it a 3.2, and I don't know, 1,500 square feet. Just keep it real simple. And we'll
All right, cool.
use whoever's going to be the seller will just use our original names. Does anybody have
Yeah.
a scenario that they would like to role play as the seller? Cash scenario? Or does anybody want to be the seller? Nice, you're chilling at the pool, my man. I'll be the seller. This guy, I'm at the pool right now. Okay, cool. Well, I don't mind it. I'll be the seller. And we'll just role play. So Dan, when you're ready, just ring type of thing, and we'll go into this, okay?
All right, sounds good, brother. Ring.
Hello?
Oh, hi there. I'm looking for Carlos.
Yeah, who's this?
Hey, Carlos, this is Dan speaking. How's it going, man?
Good, man. How you doing?
Good. I know this call's out the blue, but I believe you own a property on 123 Main Street. I'm calling to see if you ever thought about selling that property over there.
I've had some calls. Yeah, I have been thinking about it lately. I do want to sell it.
Awesome. You have about 10 minutes. Maybe we could go over the details on the property.
I think I do.
Cool. I'll make this short and simple. In the last 5 years or so, is there any updates to like kitchen, bath, anything like that?
You know what? It's a rental property, and I haven't seen it in 5+ years on the inside. And it's about 7-8 years old, and it was
Nice.
new. It was a new home built then, but you know, it's
Okay.
7, 8 years now, so I just don't know how it looks. I just know it is, or the original condition it came in.
Okay, cool. When you state rental property is just to confirm, is a single family home?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, how much you getting out of rent for that
22.
property? 2,200. Awesome, awesome. Long-term tenants, month-to-month basis.
Yeah, month to month.
Cool. Awesome. Besides getting like the right price, if we used to offer you that price range, what is the timeline you'd be ready to get rid of it?
Well, I just didn't give them a 30-day notice, but I don't mind selling it to them with them in place if you buy that way, or if you buy them without tenants in place, I just need to get them out, you know, so I have to give them a 30-day notice. So it could be 30 to 60 days total.
Yeah, either or. It works both ways for us. Whatever makes sense for us. If they're good tenants, you know, we'll take your word for it. The long term, then, you know, that'll be suitable for us. You sound like you have a good property in it. What's the reason why you'd be willing to sell this property?
Well, the last month they didn't pay, and though I'm in contact with them, they haven't made another payment. So, you know, yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. Yeah, I don't know if this is going to continue or whatnot, but definitely don't feel like going through those horror stories like everybody else that goes through them.
Yeah.
Or just sell it.
Yep. I see. All right. So that answered my question on that previous question, if they were good tenants. Okay, understood. Is there like a price range in mind that you'd be ready to let go of this property?
Yeah, I mean, I would take like 245,000.
245. Okay. And then if I was to purchase this property off you, Carlos, at that price, how much in repairs do you think I would end up costing me to get up to par?
You know, I haven't seen it, and I know that before they stopped skipping payments, I know they were good people and they were clean. And so I don't think it needs
Yep.
repairs. I just think that if you wanted to paint it and maybe change countertops and certain things to upgrade it to what today's stuff looks like, light
Right.
rehab, you know, everything's maintained. It's only 7 years old, so everything's really
Okay.
pretty much well off.
Yeah, it just seems like a property that we honestly consider. I'm looking in the system right now. The houses in your neighborhood right now, the most recent one, it seems like it's pretty updated. It's sold for 310. It's about 5 houses down from yours actually. So you think if I was to put down 50 grand, it'll come up to that condition?
You know, I do think that it can get around 300.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right. Awesome.
I've seen that house as well, so I'm thinking mine will be around there, 300, 310.
300, 310.
Yeah, if I were to renovate it the way they did theirs.
Yeah. To be honest, Carlos, that price range might be a little too high for us. I might not be a buyer. We're looking at the price range about 180 to 200. Is that something you'd be willing to consider if we used to pay all closing costs, fees, titles, et cetera, no realtor commissions?
Why is that so low?
Why is it so low?
Yeah, if I'm at 240, you want 180. Why is it $60,000 different?
Hold on, Carlos. You said your question was, why was it so low?
Yeah, I'm just genuinely asking why is your offer so low? I want 240.
Yeah. So here's the numbers where I'm coming with. It's just a ballpark number. Say I buy it for 200. I come in there. I figured about like 30, 40K average on a rehab, and then I got to go through lender. They're gonna charge me like another 15K just to lend the money. Going through property insurance, utilities. So I factor all those numbers in. And then, you know, as an investor, we do have to make some sort of money for our time. So within like 6 to 8 months, we'll be able to turn around this property. So that's my time frame on it and calcs.
Got you. Well, what if we did like 220. And I'm at 240.
You would consider 240?
Well, that's where I was at. What if we did 220? Because you said 180 to 200.
Right. Okay. I understand. I would definitely have to get back to you. I would reevaluate this with my partners. Maybe I would love to meet you at the property if if you have any open time sometime next week. I would love to.
I don't want to
do
meet
this.
you. I don't even live nearby. I live out of town.
Oh no. Okay.
You can go by it if you want, though. I don't know if they're gonna open the door for you since it's not vacant.
Yeah. Okay. So if we moving forward like that, I would speak to my partner, see if we could get something close to your number. If we go that route, and then I'll ask you to do favors to see if your tenants could take some pictures or whatnot. But I'll definitely give you a call.
What number
I give
can
you a
we
call?
do this at? Well, I kind of rather just sell it now. What number can we make it happen at today, type of thing?
Today, if we could get something booked up today, I could lock you in at 200. I'll send you over the agreement. I'll go through the agreement with you, and it's very simple, fast, 30, 45 days closing, and it's quite simple.
And you take care of the closing costs, everything?
Absolutely. So the number I provide you, that's a net profit to you in your pocket. There's no other hidden fees, and that would be in your pocket.
Okay, let's do that.
Awesome. Appreciate it. I'll send you over the documents at your email. Can you just text it to me, or you could provide it to me right now, and then I'll send it over in a few minutes, and I'll give you a call, and then we could go over the agreement.
Yeah, I'll text it over to you.
Awesome. I appreciate calls. I'll give you a call in a few minutes.
Thanks, Dan.
Yep.
And scene. How do you feel?
It was a little bit choppy. I could have went a little bit smoother, to be honest.
No, I hear you. What do you feel like you could have improved on?
Maybe just trying to evaluate the property a little bit more. I kind of hesitate on the like, hey, what about if I meet up with you and see the tenants, and then you threw a objection like, oh, I'm not even over there. So how would I figure out a number that would work for us and yourself if I haven't even seen the property?
Right. Well, you have to go off of, well, it's 7 years old, so you know really how beat up can it be. Two, if I had said they kept it clean and maintained it well, the only thing is they just didn't make their first payment. So typically, just because they didn't make the first payment doesn't mean they're going to become like dirty slobs if they never were dirty slobs, you know?
Yeah.
And so right there and then you'd know most likely would be a lighter rehab. But during in your documents too, you can put that price, like when you lock it up, let's say at 200, you can put, in your agreement, it could say that that's the agreed price, and you came to agreements with. And I think in the inspection report, if you find anything out of place that can change the price, that you can either back out or renegotiate or something like that. But yeah, there are ways.
Cool. I like that.
I think you did a good job. I think at first, do you have a script around you or no? You just kind of
Nah, that's what I do for that's basically what I try to do for cold calling. I do it here and there on the weekends. I'm not too consistent, to be honest with you, but that's what I remember from my cold calling experience.
Yeah. Because Brent Daniels does that, calling you out of the blue. I just think that that you can just be more authentic. I think that calling out of the blue, using scripts, or even if you remember from the script, doesn't really allow you to be so creative or yourself. It doesn't have to be creative finance. Yeah. I'm saying that it doesn't allow you to be you, because you had to try to remember something. I could hear you trying to remember what you were trying to say when we just first started the conversation.
Yeah.
And so
exactly.
Scripts and stuff like that, that's all it does. It just tries to make you go back and remember what the words say, so you kind of forget. If you notice, when I called Jason, I'm like, hey, what's up, man? How you doing? How's your day, right? I just went into that and I just said, hey, I was looking at your house and just wanted to ask you if you wanted to sell it. I didn't have to go, I'm calling out of the blue or like hearing those other, like, those are for the most like entry fee green pea person to come in I'm just saying for them to come in and just have an idea of how this business works and what questions to ask. That at least is
Yeah.
a good start for somebody. But we're not beginners, and I'm definitely not a beginner on the phone. So when I hear that, I'll just say, hey, just switch it up, be authentic and be you, because there's
got
nothing wrong that you can say on the other side. But I would cut out a lot of the things in like scripts if you had read them, and just kind of use your own thing. Find out that you don't have to be so professional on the phone to make a deal happen.
Yeah.
You'll find a
Alright.
lot of other investors out there too, like over the time. You'll find a lot of people are pretty similar on the phone. Like, do you ever go to any of like role plays or hear like Pace or Jamil negotiate on the phone? You ever hear their calls?
Yeah, I definitely listen to Pace the Seller calls. It's just regular
It's real
conversation.
relaxed, right? It's real, like he doesn't have
Yeah.
to try to be, because when I have to try to remember scripts, it's like me pretending to be somebody that I'm not, like having to go back and read this script, and then it even sounds like there's pauses in it, sounds scripted. And then another thing is like I just don't like, I just don't like it for some reason. It makes me feel like weird. I just don't personally like it.
No, you're right. You're right. That's my definitely take away from this one then.
Yeah, I think you're good though. Overall, you had good questions. You're pretty versed on the phone. I think that have you ever closed a deal?
Nah.
Have you
I
ever
just
walked
wholesale
through a
land, but
close?
that's yeah, wholesale land, but that's a piece of cake. But properties, no.
Got you. So have you you've closed a deal though, right? Like you've walked through the close on the phone, like you understand what closing means?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, cool. Because I was just curious because when you were like, I'll call my partner. Typically when I work with people who say I'll call my partner, typically they just don't know how to close at the end, meaning that they've already almost came to agreement, but they for some reason literally don't know what the word close means. And as simple as just put them on a piece of paper, like draft over the documents. And so I was asking you that genuinely just because I didn't know. That's why I asked also if you had closed, because I didn't know if you've never walked through that process. And that sometimes is the little piece that most people miss when they're like, well, what does closing
Okay.
mean? I'm like, what do you mean? They're like, I don't know how to close a deal. I'm like, well, you basically just did it, but you just jumped off the phone. They're like, how did I do it? I'm like, you came to agreement with the person. All you got to do now is, hey, so I'm going to send you over the email. I'm going to send you over an email so you can sign over the documents. They're like,
Yep.
oh, I didn't know that. That's why I was getting to. I'm like, I didn't know if you'd walked through that, and if that was the reason why you were trying to, hey, let me talk to my partner type of thing, because you didn't know if you genuinely had a good deal or not.
Yeah. Okay. I appreciate that, man.
Good stuff.
Thank you.
No problem. What's up, Ben?
What's good, brother?
Chilling, brother, chilling. Let's get somebody else in there who wants to be an end buyer. Somebody jump up. Let's do this. This is the place for everybody to feel comfortable. This is where we're gonna get strong because we still gotta act it out. We'll build a couple things, your mindset, the fear of things, especially right now. There's only a little bit of us today on it. It's good to get over that. That mindset is really the number one thing that's going to help you guys improve in any scenario. Because I do believe that like when people have anxiety or fear of failure, it holds them back and makes it in their head harder than it really is in real life. And like, I think that if you can work on that, on your mindset and overcome that fear, that when you start to practice, you can practice and get better much quicker because you're not really nervous. I hear some people that become comfortable, like, oh yeah, I'm pretty comfortable on the phone. But when I hear them get on the phone, I hear that I can still tell they're nervous because they're asking questions and they would ask, why are you selling? And I might bring up pain, like why I'm selling it. And then they move on to, okay, so if I bought this or gave you your number, how much time do you need to sell it? Like they already rolled in something else without even digging into the pain. And I've noticed a lot of people can say that they feel comfortable on the phones, but in reality, you're not that comfortable. You're still really nervous. And that's why you're just maneuvering through your script. So you can kind of justify you're calling people on the phone. But are you actually calling people and actually dissecting what you need to? Or you just literally, you're not really dissecting any part. They give you 30 days. You don't even lock anything and you roll into the condition. You don't even ask, okay, like, how's the roof? You just hear the condition, then you move into the price. Not you, anybody in general. I'm just saying this is in a general state. That I've noticed that when people keep that fear in their mind, that even when they try to practice, they're not even really practicing at their full potential. They're just playing themselves, and they're just, hey, going through this script so they can feel good, but it ain't gonna ever get you anywhere. And that's why I bring that up, like work on the mindset. Going back to somebody want to be an end buyer.
Let me buy that house.
All right, cool. Who wants to be our seller? Let's see. Yo, Anton, you want to be the seller?
Well, baby, got hold on. I'm about to buy that house.
She said not to. I said do it.
She
Sound
said
like
you better.
kick your ass. I swear, she told me I'll kick
No,
your
she
ass.
just said you better lock it up.
Lock it up. Let's see. Hey Dan, do you mind being a seller?
Yeah, that's cool, man. No worries.
Cool, bro. I'll put myself on mute, and you guys just use 300,000 as the ARV, and whatever you guys want to get into, if it's cash or creative, whatever you're comfortable, Shane. It's really up to what your skill level is up to if you want to get to the creative side. But do your thing.
Just gonna flow with it. What's my ARV and bedroom count stuff?
We'll do 300,000, 3-bed, 2-bath, 1,500 square feet.
All right.
Cool. I'm putting myself on mute.
Hold on real fast. Wow. All right. Pooh, yeah.
You got this.
Ring,
thing.
ring.
Hello.
Hi, my name is Shane. Is this Dan? I was looking to get in with Dan.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Who's this?
My name is Shane Johnson. I ran into your listing that you had for your house.
Okay.
Oh, I was just giving you a call today to see if you catch me up to speed, see where you're at right now, where you're at in the process and everything of getting your house sold.
Yeah. Okay. Do you have an offer for me?
Yeah, I would potentially have an offer. Just trying to figure out right now what the condition of the house is looking like. A timeline or so that you would have for getting this thing sold. Just reasons and stuff.
Yeah. Well, I'm currently not living there. There's a tenant in place. It's about updated last 7 years, and that's basically it. I just did the kitchen and bathroom for it 7 years ago.
Okay, so you would say it just needs a little bit of renovation on it for like just a little bit of carpet paint, probably a little bit of kitchen and bathroom updates.
Yeah, it still needs some update to make it look really nice, but I just did the bare minimum for it.
Oh, okay. And then you said you don't live inside of it. It's currently got a tenant inside of it right now. How long are they leased with?
They're month to month, actually.
Okay, so they're just month to month lease right now.
Yeah.
And then just curious, how much does it usually rent for?
I get $1,500 for that one.
Yeah, $1,500 a month. And then what would be the cost that goes in between that? Like out of the $1,500, how much do you keep in your pocket?
My mortgage payment right now is about $1,000.
Oh, okay. So we're cash flowing about 500 right now, no problem. What is the actual reason that you seem to need to sell the house?
So I basically need. I'm getting older now. So I'm trying to move closer to my kids down in Florida. So they said to move out there within 3 to 6 months or whenever I sell the property. So that's why I'm decided to try to sell the house now.
Okay, so when you moved down there with your kids and all, were you thinking of like, are you gonna be like working or anything? Like, what would your income be coming in at?
No, this is. I have two properties. I already sold the other one recently. So this one, if I get the cash for this one, then I could probably live off that for a few more years.
Oh, okay. Did you ever, just take a crack at contemplating of selling it on, like seller financing or anything like that?
Nah, I just want the cash and ready to go.
Okay, just want the cash and ready to go. No problem. All right, so we're moving down to Florida. We're just basically making sure. I'm just touching bases right now with everything. About 7 years. It's been updated about 7 years ago. It's rented out. Mortgage payments are only around about $1,000 or so. So with the renovations and everything in it, what would be like a bare, like bottom line number that you would take to be able to let this thing go?
I haven't thought it too deeply yet, but since you called and want to make an offer, what's your offer to me?
Well, my bad. Sorry. Make an offer for you. I was really just trying to see, for a ballpark number. We see your listing price. I see an ARV of it. The houses in your area usually selling around 300,000 or so. So with me being an investor,
Mm-hmm.
trying to make some money myself and guaranteeing to make sure that you make some money,
Right.
just would you be able to, just throwing out a number or so, just in a perfect world, with the renovations that we need, it's already has a tenant in place. Would you be able to accept an offer around 235, 240?
245, 240. Is that are you paying closing costs and everything? Is that everything in my pocket, or is there any hidden fees with that?
Would usually you would take over if I take the closing costs and everything like that, I would come down probably a little bit more or so. So if this is just a suggestion at this point right now to give us somewhere as a medium to start working a basis off of.
Understood. In my head, honestly, I was thinking about 250, 50 grand towards rehab, and then you guys would have that thing shining and probably increase the rent or have new tenants. So that's how I projected that number.
Okay, so basically 250 is around where we're at. So if I was able to say in a good situation, I do take over the closing costs and everything, would you be able to work a little bit lower of a discount and say we do it at like, 238?
238?
Yeah, and then I'll take over all the closing costs and the commissions.
Yeah, how'd you get 238? Such a random number. Just curious.
Oh, just basically thinking, the percentage cost of what it would be for the closing costs, and also with how much the percentage of either 2.5 or 3% for your agent or so, or if I came in with an agent, those closing costs, just rounding off the numbers of the percentages of how much it would be down, we'd be close around that number.
Okay, understood. Fair enough. I might need some time to think about this, but like I said, I'm serious about selling the property, so I just need some time to. I just need some time to think about that number. Is that the highest you can give me?
Well, yeah, for a cash offer, it just makes more sense at that point, just in case that, it might need to be assignable or so. And we usually would go full asking price or possibly a little bit more over asking price if terms was brought up in our favor to the point where we'd be able to cash flow off of it per se, to where I can guarantee the money and extra in your pocket every month. So where basically you'd be sitting back, chilling, collecting a check every month with your family without the headaches of being a landlord.
Okay, understood. All right. It seems like a fair price, but like I said, I need some time to think about it. So maybe I can give you guys a call back.
Okay, no problem. You can reach me on this number anytime you like and call me between these hours of the day. My work hours are blah and blah. I really appreciate your time today. And if if there's anything else that I can help you with, don't hesitate to give me a call or text, even if I am not the person that ends up buying the house for you. I'll still be able to try to see how I can help you out in any way, shape, form, or facet.
Okay, sounds good. I appreciate that, Shane.
Thank you. You have a peaceful day today, man.
All right, you as well, man. Thank you.
Scene. Nice.
Damn, I feel like I'm aggressive.
No, that's not how it is. You're doing what you need to do. Actually, you're doing a good job. You did a good job. You sound real authentic, man. You maneuver through it very well. So I see you have good potential. It's all it is just experience, right? Just getting through. You did a really good job, man. I want to open it up.
I missed my chance to hit him with a third party story.
There's a few things that I could touch up.
It.
Yeah, there's a few things that I could touch up, but I just wanted to see if anybody wanted to first touch up, on it and maybe give you a little bit of feedback, input something that they liked, input something that you could have done better.
Please do. Somebody tell me something. Because Benjamin, I seen your face. He looked like when I said something, he was like, oh man, like, why did he say that?
I saw it too, but I don't know what he's looking at. He could be watching porn or something. And, I don't know what he's doing.
Nah, that was good. That was good, Shane. I would suggest towards the end, because I was like, oh yeah, let me think about it. I'll let you go. Can I call you back? Instead of that, instead of you waiting on me, why don't you be like, all right, you know what? Can I follow up with you first thing tomorrow morning? Is that a good time? Don't wait on them calling you, bro. Just call them. Even if they say like, oh yeah, next week,
yeah,
cut that down to half.
I'm more so. That's why I felt like that towards the end, because I was like, damn, when you was like, I'm gonna have to think about that number. I was like, oh damn, see, he just hit me with a curveball. I'm like,
you know how you overcome that curveball?
I was trying to think
how I respond to those.
Yep.
How I respond to that curveball on, right there, it says, let me think about it. I just don't let them think about it. I tell them like this: hey, listen, I already know what that means. I would rather you tell me yes or no. Because thinking about it is going to make me put time in to then go and call you. I'm not in a rush either. I do analyze deals every day. I'd rather you tell me yes or no. But if you truly just need to speak to a spouse or something, and you really want me to call you back, then I'll go ahead and set that up. I just don't want to waste my time or yours anymore. And then that's how I literally, Carlos, I'd rather not do it. Okay, what is it? Is there just a certain number? No, I decided not to. Cool. But if it's a certain number, what is that number that makes you sign right now? Got you. And then if it doesn't work, then let him go. And if it does work, then get it, But that's literally the one that I think Steve Train, or I forgot who, I think I was on a podcast listening to it, or maybe at one of the seminars that I went to earlier in the year that they brought that up. I liked it. I liked it a lot.
Yeah, that's a straight shooter right there. Damn.
Yeah, it is.
Yo, what's going on, man? Just to touch a little bit on the way you approached. Obviously, I could tell you were a little nervous at first. You kind of got caught up, but as soon as you started going, you started to flow a little bit better. Probably just maybe slowing it down to give yourself time to think. Sometimes, we're like trying to move so fast that it doesn't give us time to really think about what's going to come out next. I like to slow things down just for the same thing as that I multitask. So I'm thinking of 3 things while, I'm still having a conversation, with the seller, but you just definitely maybe slow it down. And then he did mention his kids. So, hey, are they involved in any way in the sale of your property? Because a lot of times, if they're older, their kids are involved. So if let's just say you do a deal with them, and then the kids are like, nah, you ain't selling your property for that much, and then you just basically wasted your whole time, negotiating a deal that you had another, somebody else that's involved that has the last saying on what they're going to sell the property for.
Okay, I get that.
True.
My pace. I do feel I talk hella fast sometimes too. Yeah, like regardless of if I'm nervous or not, like I'm just fucking spitting things out like.
You're like me.
Yeah, I gotta try to sit back and be like, okay, like, yeah. So this is how I thought of it. Basically, we were going to be able to do these nine, but it's hella hard for me to do that because I'm just like, yeah, I already know what I want to say, so I'm just like, get it out.
I'm
Yeah,
I'm
but-
right there with you, bro. Trust me. I have to work on it all the time. And if people let me like not say a word, I'm gonna go and speak quickly. Just because it's just my subconscious mind and like yours. It's just how we naturally do it outside and inside of work. I think it's a good habit for you to pay attention to. Maybe write down on your to-dos. Remember to think slow. Maybe put an alarm every 5-6 hours, or maybe every 2 hours while you're doing your calls to remind you to slow down your speaking. And through time, you create a habit. Mine, I still struggle with it, but there are times now where I understand to slow it down. But typically, I try to speak like this, right? I speak a lot faster. This is the way that I do it. That's the typical speed that I speak at, just like yourself. And now I have to slow it down, and through time, I get a little bit better. I like to blow it out there faster, like boom, as fast as possible, because I'm already going. Everybody, Ben knows me. He's known me for years. I speak with a fucking high caliber, like that.
I retain information like that too. Like, so when people are talking quick, I was like, can you say that again? I'm like, I heard him say it twice already.
Yeah, me
Yeah,
too.
not only that, but you want to also give them a chance to respond too. Like a sales is all about you ask them a question and then just shut up. Obviously, if especially when you're negotiating, the first one that talks is the one that loses. So that's
Yeah, he got me at that point too. I wasn't ready.
You know
He
what I
hit me
mean?
with
Like,
the, well, what number you got?
Yeah. And just be like, hey, and don't be afraid of telling them, hey, this deal's just, if we can't get to those numbers, then I'm not a cash buyer at that number, and if not, then that's when you come out, and you try to pitch the creative financing, I'm gonna have to rule myself out as a cash buyer, but there are the ways that I purchase properties, and then you roll into it. Because I think, even during the role play, you kind of mentioned it, but you went so fast on it that he didn't even catch the whole, because he didn't even ask the question, well, what is creative financing? You know what I'm saying?
Oh, that's right. He just said, okay. Yeah, he was like,
And
He
then
said,
I
okay,
think,
but he
yeah.
didn't-
And I think after that, that's when he hit me with the like, well, what type of number did you have? You called me, and I was like, damn,
Yeah.
I have an answer for that, but like in that moment, the way it, like how you said, the way it played out, boom, over my head, bam, hit me with something. And I was waiting for him.
most people that don't know the answer to something, they'll just say okay, but they really don't know what okay, like they don't really know what the hell you're talking about. It's just like, okay, but like I really don't know what the hell you're talking about, but you never gave them a chance to, like, you never really slowed it down enough to where like, do you understand what what I mean, in regards to creative financing? And then and then they'll ask you, like, and then you shut up and say, oh, they'll tell you, yeah, I've heard of it, or people have brought it up to me, and then they'll at least at that point, they know what you're talking about.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, I went into it. I didn't feel like I was uncomfortable. The only reason in the beginning it felt kind of uncomfortable is because of the way that I sit there and like how I analyze things before I call the seller. Like, so all I had was the bed, bath, and everything. I didn't have no little description to tell me like anything, no pictures to look at, something to like feed off of. So I just basically went into it, just blind to see how I could flow with it. And that's why I didn't really have my pinpoints like bow, bow, bow correct at the points that I needed them. But I'm just like, yeah, it feels comfortable and everything, but I noticed that I missed 2 different chances to be able to tell him a third party story also. And I'm like, those was crucial for me. And I knew it too. Like as soon as he said something, I answered different. I said, damn, like in my mind, it was like, that was a story.
at least you caught yourself. That's the good thing. That's what happens with practice, right? Because practice, I say it all the time. It doesn't make perfect. Practice does not make perfect. It makes a permanent. Give me 1 second.
I'm gonna get to that close. You feel me? Getting them on that paper. I'm gonna be there, and I'm like, that right there helped me out. Some was like, damn, what's your number? Caught me. All right, I got to think about the number. go in, like try to get them before you get off the phone, and I just like damn near wrapped it up.
No, overall you did a good job. You do sound comfortable. I did see at first, like you were just catching yourself a little bit. Other than that, you sound pretty good. Get in there, just practice more. Start practicing on remembering those third party stories. The more you practice it, the more then you repeat it, the easier it's going to be doing it like subconsciously. You're not going to have to think about it no more. That's the reason why I always try to do the role play as well, because even though I know what I'm doing, I'm still fresh. I'm still green pea. There are a lot of times that I can forget simple questions. And that's why I like to role play, because it doesn't make me perfect when I practice. It's just that it makes it like a standard, like almost secondhand nature to remember what questions to ask, because I do it 5 days a week. Plus I take calls on the weekend. So then it keeps me a little bit seasoned on top of me just trying to get better. That's why I always want other people to not just sit in and listen, because it's almost like reading a book. And then if you're really not calling, or let's say this, you are cold calling your own leads, but you're not actually getting people who are qualified sellers, right? You're getting people that are like, no, that's not me, or I don't want to sell the house. So like, how deep of a conversation can you get into? And so even when you're listening to somebody like myself or other people that are role playing, it ain't gonna do shit for you if you never do it. It's just like as a baby when they're watching somebody walk. Okay, they already figured other humans can walk, not crawl, but just until they start trying to walk is when they actually start to walk. You get me? It's not just them sitting there looking at grown-ups walk around is gonna help them walk. Same thing, like if you sit and you listen every single time, it's cool that you get to hear all the scenarios, but you're not gonna remember to use those scenarios because you haven't started repetitive actions of repeating those questions or repeating those answers. So how far can you really go? It's like the saying, what you don't use, you lose. Happens to old people all the time. They don't become mobile, and through time, that's why they need wheelchairs. It's not because they got hurt or anything. It's because what you don't use, you lose, man.
Oh yeah, for sure. It works for me. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
I love it.
Getting close, man. I'm telling you, close somebody, man. Close.
Does anybody have any questions? Any Q&A? We'll do a little bit of Q&A. We'll do another live role play. Maybe we'll do. I don't know exactly what time the Thrive Challenge is tomorrow, but I know I'm going to get in it. I'm sure all of us are. So I kind of want to. Does anybody know what time the challenge starts?
It's at 11.
11. And what time? How many hours a day is it? Do you know?
It's
hour and a
from
half.
11 to 1. 11 to 1.
Okay, cool. So we'll still do 3 o'clock tomorrow. So we'll do 3 o'clock tomorrow, and maybe Wednesday we'll do some like live seller calls. I have a whole bunch of like leads that I can call, and we can take cracks at them, do live calls, and actually put this into full effect for you guys, so you guys can see how it goes down.
So that would be great, Carlos. We would appreciate that. That would be great, man.
Yeah, we'll start recording them too for you guys as well. I have them all on my YouTube, and every time I plan every single time to record them now, and we'll have them on YouTube, and we'll repost the links in the Powerhouse. All right, but does anybody have any questions though? Just like generic questions about this business, creative financing, wholesaling, how to do certain things?
Hey, Carlos, I'm going to jump off real quick, but reach out to me when you get off. I got a portfolio with 23 duplexes on seller finance, and maybe we can jump or send it to Stan so we can take a look at that.
Yeah, I just try to get all the information, so then it's just easier for us to write it up, and then we could.
I think they sent everything. I got spreadsheets and everything.
Okay, cool. Yeah, we could. I know that Stan and I are underwriting tomorrow with another commercial lender. He's going to teach us his stuff, so we're going to have a private session with him, and then on Friday we can underwrite this duplex that we could possibly get if it's opportunity.
For sure. Sounds good. Sorry, I got to jump off right now. I got to get on a call, but yeah, I joke.
All right, guys. I'll see you later, man. Anybody else have any questions?
I know I got a question. I'm just trying to formulate it right.
I see you. I see you. I was gonna be like, your mic's off, but I didn't know if you were plotting something in your head or something. What about who else is in here? Dan, Michael, Sam. Do you guys have any questions, generic questions, stuff about acquisitions, stuff about marketing, branding? I don't know. Just want to see if I can help you guys out.
Yeah, nothing. Yeah, I'll definitely write down some questions for tomorrow, man.
No problem. I just want to repeat that and make sure if people have questions that arise that I can answer them.
Hey, Carlos.
What's up, Mike?
I've been thinking about going virtual with wholesaling, and I was just curious how you would target certain markets.
Cool. So I am virtual, and I think all of us right now are virtual. It's very simple, man. Honestly, it's way better too, because you can be in markets that you want to be in, or aside from your direct market, your primary market that you live in. And it's fairly simple. So like, are you asking how would you go ahead and do it? Go forward in doing it?
Yeah.
So do you drive for dollars right now?
Yeah, I'm driving for dollars right now.
Okay. So you know how you use like batch leads or batch skip trace?
Yeah.
So if you use batch leads or PropStream, or I think even Privy, there are a few other websites that you can not only comp properties, but you can pull lists. So it's always good to have two markets. I know Pace teaches that. I have SoCal as one market, and I have Atlanta, Georgia is another. I've picked up a couple more, but it's always exciting to have that. And so let's say you decide, you do a little bit of research, you find out during this recession which cities are still doing fairly well compared to others, and you find out you want to go to Tampa, Florida, or Central Florida, or like Tennessee, Memphis, Tennessee, wherever you want to go, right? What you do is you go on those batch leads or the Privy, or what's the other one called? I forgot already. Whatever it is.
Right.
You go to those websites and you can literally skip trace those markets that you want to go into. You can go in, type in just the city in the search bar on like batch leads or PropStream. You put in the city, market, whatever, let's say Tampa, Florida, you drop it in there, you hit search, and then there'll be a lot of like filters that come up, and there'll also be little like sections in the bottom of the screen that will like tell you tired landlords. I think like I forget, like seller finance, they have a buyer's list, they have foreclosures list. And so you can try to put filters in there for what's going to work for you and what you're trying to look for. And then you can then skip trace that market like that and literally just start calling them and doing the same thing you do right now. There's no difference. Literally just, it's even easier. You never have to leave your house.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure we all do it. All of us do it. It's not hard. Virtually just makes it sound harder. It's not. It's just, imagine you didn't drive around and pull your own list. Imagine you just pull the list like an hour away. That's still virtual. If you didn't drive over there, you're still virtually doing it.
Right. Yeah.
I would say I recommend it, and it's fairly easy to do. And if you need some help, I can jump on a call with you a little bit later today or tomorrow and walk you through it.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, it'll take like 5-10 minutes to do. It's very simple.
Okay. Yeah. That sounds good.
Cool, no problem, man. Any other questions?
Not for myself.
Kind of in the same boat with thinking about going virtual because I'm in Houston right now. I just drove to Texas. I'm in a small town in Louisiana, and I drove every single street in my town and the neighboring capital in Baton Rouge, and I got like 700 properties, and I've called those lists like 8 times. And I also pulled some vacant lists and tired landlord lists, but haven't really had a whole lot of luck with that. So I drove over here to Houston to stay with a cousin for a few days while I drive for dollars. And I'm gonna probably have to go virtual. And
Yo, dude, I just want to say,
call like that.
dude, mad respect first off for working your ass off and driving around doing it the hardest way possible, the most original way possible to do it. You definitely deserve to just learn how to
Sucks.
do it virtually, bro, because you're willing to put in that work to build your business. You have what it takes, man. I just think that you maybe should have just had that question in your head a little bit earlier. The hey, how do I go virtual? And you might have just started trying to ask that question to somebody and to figure out, oh shit, I didn't have to drive all these places. The great thing about driving for dollars is you guarantee you know the house is distressed. That's the number one
That's what I
great
like
reason why driving for dollars is so good, because you know they're actually in distress. But
Right.
on the other note, you can skip trace wherever the hell you are, any city or state in any market across the nation, and pick, and just like I do, or just like Josh does, or Shane does, people can use for sale by owners and do creative financing with those on Zillow anywhere in the nation. Right? It's so simple too. I can show both you and Michael how to do it on a Zoom, but it'll save you. Let's say you didn't want to drive today, or you didn't want to drive. There's virtual driving for dollars. Takes a little bit of time,
Yeah.
but it probably didn't take as much time from you driving over from where you are to there. But it takes a little bit of time. It's like using Google Maps and then just going through the streets like that and looking for, but banking on those photos or updated photos, right? So there's still ways you can do it driving for dollars virtually. But even in a scenario you don't want to do that, you just skip trace them, and I'll show you how to filter your leads that you're looking for. So then you can try to pile them up into more of a distressed pile of lists. So then you're not just calling people who would rather sell on the market, so you're just paying for shitty data, right? So there is marketing too. You
Yeah.
figure out how to use the filters and what you're looking for, and you put it all together. You just stack them together, and then you got a pretty decent list, and then you start cold calling just like you're doing, but you're in different markets.
Yeah, I think my problem was probably narrowing those lists down to like a certain niche, because I felt like everybody I was calling, I was like the 8th person that called them, and they're all just really upset. They stopped calling me, which is fine. Like, I'm used to it. That doesn't bother me. But I just thought that I was pulling the same list that everybody else is pulling, and it's just a matter of getting them on a bad day.
Yeah. Here's another thing of people who are pulling the same list that let's say I start pulling this, which I'm not, but because I get a lot of leads from other people. But in a scenario where, let's say you don't have that opportunity, um, anybody who's going to jump on the same list, a lot of people have that concern. I'm not really so concerned, because I know that majority of those people don't have the same skill that I do on the phone, and they're going to leave the meat on the table for somebody like me to come up and pick it up and eat it. Because I'll tell you right now, a lot of people right now in the next 12 months, with all those wholesalers who were kicking ass making money by locking it up too high, just like I still see it happening, and then banking on hedge funds or people to pay 90, 95 cents on the dollar, those people are probably going to be like the last of the dying breed, compared to if I were to go toe to toe with them, I'd probably pick up all their houses that they left the meat on the bone, because I don't know how good their skill level is. What if they think that they're always going to have to lock it up at a high number? It's never working anymore. They don't want to adapt. They don't want to practice. They don't want to role play. They don't want to do anything. Those people have a less than chance than me. When I get to that, I have a better chance. So like, one thing is, even if you feel like you're pulling the same list, if as long as it's a distressed list, and as long as you know that you're fucking pretty solid on the phone, I wouldn't worry about everybody else, because 90% of people, remember, just learn the basics of wholesaling. So coming into this business where there's sales negotiations together, right? Sales negotiation, but then there's business, like learning how business works, and then there's real estate. So when a noob comes in completely fresh, or green pea, they know the basics, like learning how to use the scripts, right? So it gives them a basic thing to learn a little bit about real estate, learn a little bit about negotiations and business. Cool. But then you have people like me who come from a sales background. So automatically you put me in a sales position, and I'm going to rise to the top because I understand the game, compared to you put somebody else in the same business who's never done sales, and now they have to learn that for the first time, learn how to get confident, learn how to get good, learn to be experienced. That's going to take them time, not me. So now you put me in an atmosphere where I'm learning real estate. All I'm really learning is questions pertinent to real estate, terminology, and how real estate really works in transactions. Other than that, I'll close deals toe to toe with a lot of people, and I'll get the majority of the deals that are actually willing to be sold, because the fact that I work hard at that. Like I'm saying, most people are not that good on the phone. I know as well, because I do the astro flipping strategy where I have my own dispo. Josh does it with me as well. We've come to see so many wholesalers, they lock up shit deals. We find out that dispositioning is a numbers game just as much as finding leads is, because you'll get 20, 30, deals under contract, if they're not daisy chained, they're just locked up too damn high and they never work. So it's a numbers game, but the better you become, the way easier it becomes for you to bring value, and the way easier it is for you to lock up deals too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. I think we're cool, guys. What we'll do is tomorrow, we'll do this again at 3 o'clock. Do it till like 4:35. And then we'll go from there. I know that we'll do a live call maybe Wednesday, Thursday, and then we have an underwriting session on Friday. Sounds good, guys.
Yo, appreciate the calls. Thank you, man.
Take it easy, guys. Bye.
Yeah, there.